Are we live? Noodle?
All right. I think we're good to go. So yeah, welcome everyone to Iris League Placement Cup Season 2. It's going to be a spicy one, I think, and not to my own enjoyment, mind you, as the map that we're about to find ourselves on is not particularly a favorite of mine. In any case, you're joined by me, your boy Patchy, and Kelly Serenity, what's going on? What are we about to see here? Because yeah, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not. Not gonna lie.
Besides not knowing if we're live, Patchy, it's going to be such an interesting game tonight. Sinister FE take on WRG Amaryllis. We've seen both of these teams have excellent potential. They're really high skilled players, so it's going to be a knockout tonight. I'm super interested to see. As I said, I've played with the girls in Sinister 5, and I've also played alongside WRG. And so it's going to be a tough one to cast tonight.
I mean, aside from the skill of the players that we're going to see here, I think it's going to be very interesting to say the least, just based on the fact that we find ourselves here on Vertigo. Now, every time I cast this map, I always put in a bit of a disclaimer. Not my favorite map ever. When I talk about other maps, I always talk about the Foursquare sort of maps being my favorite, and that stands true pretty much all the time. This map is pretty much the most outlying map in comparison to the rest of them, and I would wager that this is one of the most un-CSGO maps of CSGO ever.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm terrible at casting this map. Not only have I only played it twice myself, but I don't know a lot of the callouts, so I'm going to have to try and pull something out of the hat tonight just to make sure that the calls are on point. And I'm wishing myself and you good luck for tonight. Not just the teams.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, like a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's not such a bad map. It's not such a bad map." But the thing is, it is such a bad map, and the way you can figure that out is by just having a look at the map and seeing that it has been reworked like 5 times or something stupid. It's been reworked so many times just because there's so many problems with it. Not necessarily that the map concept is bad. All right, I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that this sort of concept is difficult to execute, and it's difficult to execute properly. Like, even getting it to work in the beginning is difficult enough, but to get it to work well is even harder. And I don't think they've gotten to the point where it's even beyond the point of workable. Like, I think this map is workable, it's playable. Like that's sort of where it stops for me. It stops at playable. It's not fun for me, at least personally. A lot of people enjoy the chaos factor. In fact, when I speak to them, I always say, I don't enjoy Vertigo because it's so chaotic. But a lot of people will tell you actually that's why they like the map, because it's so chaotic. So I guess to each their own. Some people love this map, and you're obviously entitled to enjoy it if you do. But I personally don't. But I mean, if we're talking just from a purely strat perspective, and this could be a good curveball map to throw into the pool.
Definitely great. It looks like Sin 5 will be starting on the side of T, and we see WRA on the side of CT, and this is round 1 of the first map for these girls, and it looks like they're going to be pushing through towards tunnels and opting out for a B push, I think.
Yeah, they're heading straight onto the B site. The smokes are there to cover it up, but the headshots coming through from the CT side, making sure that those Ts are not long for the world. That's already 2 Ts dropped, and that's Chevelele on 2 HP.
That's gonna be
drop as well.
Lots of people dropping over there. Cyanide taking down Chevy, who only had 2 HP. Baby Tooth returning the favor over there. Leaf is last alive. She's got 48 HP, and I don't think this is looking too good for her. They are on the defuse. Angel's going for the hunt. Is she gonna get her? Yes, she does. Leaf falls to Angel, and WRA take the first round.
Yeah, that was quite nice and clean. They had a good sort of check on where that push was going to come from. I think most of the CTs were actually towards the B site. They sort of suspected that it might be that push, and the rotations came very quickly. They were easily able to keep a handle on things, and yeah, the only thing that the T's had going for them there was that they got the bomb down, so that's a little bit of cash for them. Ooh, nice little spray for the P250, gonna get Cyanide through the smoke. So that's already the pistols doing some crazy damage, but Mini with the MP9 gonna be pulling the trigger back, taking down 2.
And Salty taking down a third over there. It looks like Tinks might be able to get the revenge, and along with Salty, she goes down. But Mini taking down Tinks, and it is Chev who is last alive. She's got to take down 2 players who both have defuse kits, and the bomb is unfortunately not in a very good position. Flashes come out, both players peeking at the same time. I don't think Chev is... She didn't spot the push over there. Unfortunate for her, and WRA, they take their second round. I just want to chat about the lineup over here. You know, we've seen some really good skill in terms of some of the players or whatever. So on the side of WRA, we have Mini, who is replacing one of the players as far as I remember. But I have casted a couple of games with her, and I've seen how she's quite potent with that MP9.
Yeah, it is one of those weapons. Do enjoy picking that one up as well as the Mac 10. Those can be quite fun to use in the sense that that fire rate makes you be able to really put some sprays down and get some hits in. So yeah, it's always fun to watch a player just going nuts with that one.
Definitely. Cyanide, I think she's been dubbed Cyanide for all the grenade kills that she got in the past couple of placement games that she's been playing with WRA. So she's been dubbed Cyanide for a bit. Salty taking down Tinks with a naughty little headshot in the FAMAS. Cyanide taking down Baby Tooth with an AWP. Such a strange weapon to choose to play on this map. This map is so tiny. Do you agree with playing with an AWP?
You know, I think it's definitely a good question to ask, and I suppose it comes down to preference. Like you said, it is a somewhat small map, but I do think that there are some good situations in which you can use the AWP on this map, and that was actually one of them, where you hold just from this position on towards the A site here. You can see Cyanide still holding that sort of angle there. This is a good one to have just because you can hold it a lot more tightly than you would with an AK or some other weapon. You know, you can find those shots a little bit more accurately when they start to rush up the ramp towards A. So it can definitely find its place on a map like this, although it doesn't have as much utility. Now, Mini and Angel are going to get 2 of the Sin 5 players. They're leaving Leaf last alive. They're going to be taking some damage, and definitely spotted out here. Good shot from Cyanide. Going to clean that one up. 3 rounds for WRA.
Not looking too good for Sin 5. They don't look very united as a team. They don't really, to me, it doesn't look like they know what they're doing, if I'm honest. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was WR's map choice. So I think it was the play, and like you mentioned earlier, it was the play to catch another team off guard. And I think this is what WRA has actually done. And they've caught Sin 5 off guard. But I'm sure they'll be able to recoup and get themselves together. They have called the timeout now, so maybe break the momentum a little bit and see what they can do, or what they're doing wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah, I think I would also probably find myself in a little bit of I don't know what I'm doing on this map specifically. You know, if I had to sit here with my team on this map, I would probably I'd probably have to take a couple of rounds to get used to it and sort of find my groove. And that's not even beginning to mention about which, side you have a preference on, whether you're feeling good on CT or T side on this map. So yeah, that's definitely a difficult position to be in. Ooh, Tink's going to be very, very quick with that P250. Going to catch Salty out with grenades, and spray down coming back from WRA to keep this one going, but not going to connect to find that final one. Chev is going to go down. Angel takes down Nexi, and now it's Baby Tooth and Leaf against 3. There goes one more, so it's a 2v2 now. Baby Tooth
they've managed,
and Mini.
Yeah, they managed to pick up some guns over there, so really good eco from them. The bomb is going down. Mini's going to try push onto site now, see if she can get a little bit of intel, but Cyanide, she's on 15 HP, so it's not looking too good for her. Spots a player. Mini takes down Baby Tooth, and it is Leaf against Cyanide and Mini. Both of them put together can't even make for one whole teammate, so let's see. Leaf has a really good chance at taking this team on.
Oh, stick the defuse. Oh, nice. Well played. Well
That
played.
is
Real pros
so
never.
unfortunate. That is so unfortunate for Leaf over there, but nonetheless well played. I think they'll have lots of cash over now to buy a full buy with lots of utility, and it looks the same with WRA with the FAMAS in the hands of Salty. The rest of the girls opting for an M4. Cyanide choosing to stick with the longer distance AWP, and the rest of the girls in Sin 5 with AKs. Lots of utility. Let's see if Sin 5 can finally get their first round.
Yeah, I mean, right now Sin 5 are actually relying on the maximum loss bonus there for their money, so they're going to have to really, really find their footing here and get that momentum going for themselves, because as soon as they win a round, they're going to be finding themselves in a bit of an economic situation, which means if they win one, they're going to have to win a couple more to keep their economy going, otherwise they'll find themselves in a bit of a sticky situation, because as we know, that loss bonus can definitely work against you in certain scenarios. Right now we're going to see Baby Tooth going down. Salty going to pick that one up as Tinks peeks that angle. Really well played. That's Cyanide missing the shot with the AWP. So very unfortunate there, you know, and that comes back to that question of whether or not it's really worth it to pick up the AWP there. And you really have to be hitting your shots on a map like this. You know, you don't really have the room for error to miss in a map like this when you are utilizing that AWP. So that is unfortunate, and the AWP will lose against a well-placed shot there. So
Tinks getting a nice kill from behind onto Angel, but Mini refragging her, and Leaf doing the favor in taking her down too. But it seems Kitchi is just going to take some revenge. She takes Leaf down with a nice little headshot over there. The bomb will be going down towards B site, and we are put into a 2v2 situation now. Shiv and Nexi full and proper, lots of health on their side, and Salty and Kitchi the same.
Yeah, some util going back and forth to try and be able to get some advantage here, move on towards the map. Nexi is going to be the first point of contact here. There goes one, and the second one, can it be found? Kitchi has to try and win this fight 1v2, but it gets pinned down. Actually finds the first, but the second one will not come. It's Nexi, clears that one out. And Sin 5, they get their first round on the board.
Yeah, finally, 6 rounds in, and they managed to get their first round. They lose a lot of economy and a lot of weaponry in that round. With only one player managing to survive, but it looks like WRA will be pushed down to their SMGs. Mini opting for the USPS, sticking to that with the rest of the girls with MP9s, and they'll be taking on a full team of AK-47s.
Yeah, definitely a scary set of barrels to be looking down, but you can certainly make it work. And there comes a little bit of spray coming down from the MP9s. Going to get one, but Leaf catching two with brilliantly placed headshots. They're going to be taking Cyanide and Angel both down. So it's 4v3. Man advantage goes to Sin 5.
Yeah, it looks like the girls are pushing through towards tunnels. It looks like they're going
back at the spawn though.
That's what I was just about to say there. They're pushing up towards B site, but I don't know if they're aware of the fact that they don't have the bomb with them and they won't be able to do much. But it does look like 2 WR players are hanging around towards B site, and one player is trying to take the information towards A site and bring the WRA girls over there, and it looks like it might actually be working. It's very, very passive play from Sin 5 over here, Apache.
Yeah, it looked like they were looking for a little bit of the information coming through to try and make their moves, and that has cost them time, but they are also in a bit more secure position as well, which is going to allow them access to that side. With 30 seconds remaining, Util is going to go down to cover the plant, which should be able to go down. Some of the players are pushing now, have to be covered. Kitchi going to be doing some work there. Leaf will find the next, and Chev will be traded out immediately in a 1v2. It cannot be done. Mini falls, and it's 2 rounds now for Sin 5.
Yeah, very good passive play from them. At a stage, it looked like they didn't know where they were going to go with the bomb, or they didn't even know that the bomb was down. But to my mistake, it seems that they actually managed to secure a second round over now. We are into round 7. It's 4-2 in favor of WRA. They are forced down to pistols, 3 deagles, 2 5.7s with a little bit of utility on some of the players. No kits, no defuse kits on them, and it looks like they'll be taking on full AK-47s again. Is it going to work? No, it is. Tinks man catch Cyanide off guard, but Salty refragging onto her. It looks like the pistols are doing some damage, and Sin 5 are going to be pushing towards A side, changing things up a little bit.
Yeah, you can never count the pistols down and out too much, but despite having a little bit of that chaotic advantage through the smoke there, nothing's really going to come of it, and that's going to leave Mini. Last one left alive with this 5-7. Actually does get one, but now it gets even more difficult. Has to find the heads. Can it be done? It cannot. It's 3 for Sin 5 now against the 4 from WRA. Sin 5 finding a little bit of that footing, getting that momentum going, just like we were talking about.
Yeah, really well played, especially on the eco that they were on, doing lots of damage to the Sin 5 goals. They've got to consistently keep buying AK-47s with utility and stuff, so it's keeping their economy quite low. And we see the WRA goals are forced onto pistols yet again. It didn't go too badly for them the previous round, but unfortunately, Cyanide and Mini catching the first deaths over there onto that round, and it is now as I say that, it is now a 2v4.
Yeah, not an easy situation to be in, although Angel has upgraded to the AK, which makes it a little bit easier to find some shots, but the shots have to be found, and speaking of finding shots, Nexi, a great headshot onto Angel is going to leave Kitchi last alive and alone, and this could just be a save here, which I think it should probably be there. The AK going into the next round could potentially be quite helpful, quite useful, and allow for more util and whatnot to be brought up. So I think it will just be saved here for Kitchi, and that's going to mean that Sin 5 even up the score 4-4.
Yeah, 4-4. That's they haven't lost the last couple of rounds that they've actually managed to get the bomb done and so forth. So really well played from Sin 5. It looks like that timeout really did them justice. Unfortunately, Kitchi won't be able to save that AK-47, but she at least has the economy to buy up this round along with her teammates. So I think we should be seeing into round 9 a full buy from each of the players on each team, and this is going to be quite interesting. Really nice one-tap coming out from Nexi over there.
Yeah, right now we are sitting in a situation where WRA do have that maximum loss bonus as well, so they will be able to pick up some util and some guns and whatnot, no problem there. And that should give them a good chance to put up a fight here on round 9.
Getting a connection problem. Okay. We've been disconnected from the server. We are going to try reconnect, and we do apologize for the inconvenience caused at the time being.
Yeah, we'll just get to the bottom of the problem, and we'll be right back.
Definitely.
Hmm.
I think we should be good, eh?
Economy looking zero.
Live.
All right. Okay. Cool. We sorry for that. We're back now. We just had to ensure everything match stats are loading properly and all that, which we're working on at the moment. But we should be good to go anytime now. So thank you for your patience. We will be getting back into it momentarily. Just a reminder, it's White Rabbit Amaryllis versus Sin5 FE. We are 4-5 in favor of Sin5, and we're about to get into round 10.
Yeah, after a disaster, a fixable disaster, we see everybody's back onto the economy that they initially had. They're back onto their guns, and we restart the round at 4-5, which is initially before the server crashed. So everybody will have exactly what they had as we were before everything went downhill. It is now uphill from now, and we see Sin5 FE are currently in the lead for the first time this game. And they've got a full buy on their side, and they've got to take on some pistols on the side of WRA, so that's going to be a bit of a toughie for them.
Yeah, we see Sin5 have found their footing, as we were talking about earlier. They started on a bad foot, WRA throwing a bit of a curveball at them with this Vertigo map, but they have found themselves, and they've gotten a lot more comfortable now, and they're doing pretty well. And, well, there goes the first one. Cyanide going to drop as she pushes through mid there.
Yeah, right through that smoke, expecting something different, I might assume, but it didn't go down as she thought it would, so she unfortunately loses her life, and it looks like Angel will be tagging along with her. Tinks taking down Mini as well, but Salty and Kitchi doing some dirty work over there. Oh, ho, ho!
Those pistols are ripping through them.
Yes.
You cannot count them out. We keep saying that. You can't count the pistols out, and this is why. They've done so much damage already. It's a P250 and a Deagle, and yet we are sitting in a 2v2.
Yeah, so really good economy round from WRA. Kitchi managing to pick up a AK-47 off someone's carcass. Salty had the same idea, but unfortunately Chev spotted her hard, and she takes her down, and Baby 2 finishing off Kitchi, and Sin5 currently with 6 rounds to WRA only with 4. And we see a counter-terrorist timeout, and I think Coach Recall is just trying to break the momentum of Sin5 here, because they haven't lost. It's undefeated 6 rounds so far.
Yeah. Every time we get into a situation like I always love to see the timeouts coming through, because that it really is, like you say, it is a break in the mental game. When you've 6 rounds in a row, you do definitely just want to sort of try your best to break that momentum. You get your team to take a step back. You break the consistency of the match, and you sort of try and get it to reset a little bit. So we see WRA, they're going to pick up their weapons. They're going to pick up an AWP in the hands of Cyanide, the rest of them M4s, and they're going to be playing now against Sin5's fully stacked AKs. And
I haven't seen Sin5 pick up an AK-47 at all on the side of T. So I'm quite interested and inquisitive to see if they'll do the same as what Cyanide's doing on the side of CT. And I've also had some viewers in the comments say, they don't agree with an AWP on this map, and others have then again, been saying that they do enjoy the AWP. I mean, we've also had our rants about it, but it's been working for Cyanide, so let it be. Let's see what is going to be happening with this round. It seems Sin5 are playing a little bit more passive. They have left the bomb down towards spawn, and they're going to play for some information and then take it from there. And it looks like we might just get a queue over there. Cyanide picking up a reload queue from one of the girls, I think it's below her.
Yeah.
I think it was below her. My headphones looked for the up down.
Yeah. When it comes to sound cues on Vertigo, it's always kind of odd, because generally you're not really listening for up and down. You're listening for, left or right or forward or back. So it is a bit odd when it comes to the verticality of this map. It's not really a thing that we're too used to right now. Tink's going to be taking down Salty, and Cyanide going to be utilizing that AWP that we were talking about. They're getting 2 kills picked up there. Almost there comes the third, and just playing this position to perfection. It's frag after frag
Cyanide might actually take an ace on this AWP, proving all out. She does. She actually aces with an AWP on Vertigo. That is an outstanding play from Cyanide. And I think that timeout really did do them some wonders, and they finally are able to break Sin 5's momentum. After 6 rounds consistently winning, they managed to land their 5th round, but Sin 5 still in the lead, so they've got some dirty work to do. They are forced onto pistols. We see 4 Deagles and Baby Tooth opting for a P250. That grenade doing some damage.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to prove what we were saying about the AWP. You know, I said it is one of those things that you have to, and it can work in given situations, and it can definitely be viable if you use it right. And that is a perfect example of exactly what I was saying. You know, you find the kills, you land the shots, and you can use an AWP on Vertigo. Not all the time, obviously, but I mean, that is definitely a possibility, and you see it in action right there. So right now we're going to be seeing Sin 5 sitting on those pistols, a little bit of damage being taken from that nade towards mid, as Sin 5 try and plan out their next move, trying to wait for a pick, and this could be it. A little bit of damage going down into Angel. They're trying to utilize these pistols to find a crack in the defense of WRA.
Yeah, it looks like Sin 5 will be going towards... Well, at this moment, it's really hard to tell, but they are pushing towards mid, and I don't know if they actually noted or spotted Cyanide scoping in the corner over there. Yes, they do. Cyanide manages to get a smoke down, but I don't think it's going to be enough coverage for her at the moment, keeping the players towards mid. They'll be pushing to top of mid, and Cyanide spots a little head. She takes down Leaf and Angel, unfortunately taking down Tinks when Tinks tried to take on Cyanide. Really good refrags over there, and support from her players, managing to keep her alive for a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, you've got to hit those shots when you go in with a pistol for a refrag there. So it is what it is. Baby Tooth going to be hitting the shots that need to happen, though. It's going to be Baby Tooth versus 3, and it's pistol against Famas. The CTs will wait the time out. Baby Tooth also going to get taken down with a good shot to the head by Cyanide. So that's going to be 6-6 now. Both of these teams evening out the rounds, and they should be able to both buy up fully here. So we're about to see a nice full buy round once again as we head into round 13.
Cyanide with her AWP yet again. Salty and Kitschy forced down to the FAMAS, and the rest of the girls on the sides of Sin 5 FE, they have AK-47 and lots of utility to work with. And they've got... Yes, it's going to be so tough. We see Nexi and Chef playing towards mid tunnels, and they're obviously opting for mid, so they play very passively over there. Angel has decided that she would rather take control of mid, while Cyanide is holding towards A site with the AWP. So nice to see the little wraparounds and change-arounds from the two teams, and how they play each time a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Cyanide get some pretty good success in both mid and towards A site, obviously with that fully ace being on that A site. So the rotation between A and mid is a good spot to be playing that AWP. If we're talking about good positions to utilize an AWP on this map, that would be one of the good ones. Right now, Baby Tooth, the rest of Sin 5 trying to flush out the member from WRA playing towards sandbags there as they make their way towards A, deciding to get that execute down. Now the bomb is still back towards spawn, so Sin 5, they are just waiting for an opening to try and move in, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I really do hope they are keeping an eye on that timer, as they only have 30 seconds left of this round. Nexi taking down Kitschy. Tinks managing to land a shot on Salty, but Cyanide taking her down. Chevy getting the kill onto Mini, and we left to a 2v4. Cyanide has got the angle, but it's okay because Angel's there for the crush. She takes down Leaf, and it is now a 1v2. Cyanide has the AWP in her hands, and unfortunately, she will fall to Nexi. A really good run from Sin 5.
Yeah, that was definitely well played. You could see they took their time in identifying the cracks in the defenses. They eventually didn't find any picks, so they decided to push the advantage. They push for an advantage at least. They flushed out the player of WRA towards sandbags. They got themselves a frag, and then they just continued pushing on towards A. A nice little lurk coming in on B to get an extra frag in there, and ultimately coming out on top. So well played. They're going to get a 7th round on the board for themselves and put themselves in a bit of a lead, and looking to extend that one now as they go into round 14.
I get super nervous when I play against a team that's extremely passive, because it's so you're sitting in a position where you don't exactly know what's going to be happening. So you kind of try and play for some information. You get a little bit too aggressive and you give away your positioning. And I think Sin5 was opting for that. Cyanide being the first player to fall on the side of WRA, Mini tagging along with her. And it's not looking too good for WRA, but they are on a pistol round. Not that it's going to be any good for them.
They didn't manage to do pretty much anything in that round, and trying to play a little bit back, but they get caught out by Sin5 just probing in towards the site, and they just get taken down one by one and don't really get anything back for it. So that's 8 rounds now on the board for Sin5. Of course, WA are able to buy into this round, so they will be able to give themselves a far better chance at getting some rounds in their favor. We are waiting for round 15 to commence as Sin5 begin their rush and actually going to be catching Kitchi out very, very quickly. So that's Tinks taking down Kitchi as they move towards a very, very big switch up from their usual passiveness. Ooh, nice headshot. Cleaning up that site.
Just too late. She tried to duck down and Nexi unfortunately spotted her little head and took her down. And we are left with a 3v5. It is Angel, Cyanide, and Mini who are the last here alive. Cyanide being the only one of the kit on her side. And this is the last round, so it's all out or nothing.
Oh, Mini swings in and gets one, but the trade is good. That's going to leave Angel and ticking away. They have to make something happen, and it's not looking too good there. Cyanide will only get one. Does she keep pushing here? She is being held in the AK. Will win it out. 6-9 is going to be the final round score for the half. And we're going to move into the second half.
Yeah, it's so far so good. It's crazy close rounds. We've seen, WRA managed to land the first 4 rounds, and I think it really did break Sin5's confidence a little bit, but they managed to take a little bit of a timeout, and then they scooped up a full 6 rounds on their side and only losing 2 after that and scooping up another 3 rounds. So really well played from Sin5 FE. Let's see how they handle the side of CT, and let's see what WRA is going to be doing with the terrorist side. Are they going to have a passive play? Are they going to push aggressively? It looks like it's an aggressive play towards A side. And it's going to be hot and heavy in here. Baby Tooth taking some damage from behind, not noticing the player behind her. The first kill will go to Baby Tooth as she takes down Salty. Kitchi taking some flames over there. She takes down Chevy, and Angel refrags onto Baby Tooth. The 2v3.
Yeah, the water pistol's just trying to do as much damage as they can. Yeah, headshots to make it a 1v2. And Leaf 32 HP, and the bomb is down as well, so that's some extra money for WRA to begin this half. Leaf has to find some crazy headshots to clean this one up, and can it be done? There's the first kill onto Cyanide, switches to the P2000 to try and clean it up, but the bomb is ticking and the kit is there, so there is still a chance if Angel can get picked up.
Yeah, but Angel looks like Angel is hiding away, and she's not willing to give up this round because WRA, they need this round. They need this pistol round. She spotted a little diffuse over there, and she takes down Leaf, unfortunately. But another round to WRA with 7 rounds to them and 9 to Sin5. So they are still currently in the lead. But let's see, WRA got the bomb down. They've got some economy, and they're going to buy some SMGs with a lot of utility, and it looks like Sin5 won't be doing much with it, but they have called a counter-terrorist timeout, and I think this is where you try boost your teammates' synergy and, lots of positive vibes and attitude in the TeamSpeak or the Discord that you're in. Try and uplift your teammates, not lose the confidence that they currently have.
Yeah, right now, obviously, Sin5 in the previous round, they got a couple in their favor in, after losing a 6 in a row, and that's sort of the vibe that you want to be hammering on right now. You say, listen guys, we can definitely do it, we can make it work. We lost the round, but we're not down and out just yet. We still have the lead, we can still make it work, and they do pick up those SMGs in response. So it's going to be an SMG battle here as WRA make their way very quickly up towards the ramp, towards a bomb site. Moving in with those SMGs, they will be met with another wall of SMGs, and there's the first one. Angel going to be caught with the MAC-10 trying to do some work. The trades will come through. It's going to be a 2v3 now. Kitch and Cyanide and Mimi against Tinks and Nexi. Cyanide holding a nice little angle there. He's going to get one. And now it's Nexi who does pull the trigger onto Kitschy. 1v2, Sin5, not much left. They have to get this clutch if they want to get around in their favor and make those SMGs worth it.
Definitely. Bombs going down on towards B sides over there. Quick little rotate before spotting out, Nexi. Having the information that Nexi was on towards A side, they opted for the B plants. It looks like Nexi will be making her way towards A side. She's got an MP9 in her hands, and Mini only sitting with 20 HP, so she's got a good chance at actually taking this round. No kits, so she's got to hurry up. And it's Cyanide, and unfortunately Cyanide is the loser in that battle. And they secure another round with a defuse. Super unfortunate for WRA though.
Yeah, Sin5 Nexi made the perfect choice. They're usually in a situation like this. If Nexi had lost that one, I would say you have to listen to Patchy's 101 of CSGO, and that's always check your corners. But yeah. I don't need to remind you of that because Nexi checks the corners and is rewarded with a nice clutch win there. So Sin5 take a 10th round for themselves, and yeah, they win a clutch.
They do, yeah. I would have died, I would have never spotted Cyanide sitting in that corner over there. So really well played from Nexi, checking her corners and making sure that she secured this round, knowing that they don't necessarily need it, but the more rounds you have, the better for your team. Tinks taking lots of damage over there. She drops down to 22 HP, but she ultimately wins the battle against Mini and takes her down. She is a survivor. Lots of damage coming through between the two teams, and Angel falls to Tinks. Even with 22 HP, she manages to take down a player. Kitschy returning on the favor onto Tinks. She takes her down, and it is a 4v3 with healthy players, some util, and it's MAC-10s against some SMGs and rifles.
Yeah, but I mean, Sin5 winning that previous round justified their SMG buy, which almost went out of control. But the fact that they won it meant that they could keep the momentum going just by the skin of their teeth. And now they're equipped with those SMGs and rifles and a little bit of utility, which has put them in a pretty good position against these MAC-10s. They could still easily take this one. The P90 tearing through Salty. It's going to leave Kitschy and Cyanide to try and make something happen, and that bomb is going to give away the position of Kitschy, leaving Cyanide all alone to try and make something happen. The MAC-10 doing so much work. There's two, but ultimately the trade is good, and WRA will fall once again. Sin5 picking up an 11th round.
Yeah, scary numbers to be looking at the moment, knowing that Sin5 were actually not looking confident on this map in the beginning, and they've proved me wrong. They are very confident on this map, and it looks like they have adjusted well into their seats with their mice and keyboards, and it looks like it's going well for them. WRA need to pull something out of their socks, because 7 rounds behind, they were doing so well, so it's quite surprising for me to see the turnaround over here. I think they just need to try and break the spirits of Sin5 FE girls and see if they can get a couple of rounds here, do something different, play passive, play aggressive, and change things up a little bit just to get a couple more rounds on the board over here. I think it's very important, especially on the side of T side. You need to work as a team together and try and take on players, as many players as you possibly can as a team, instead of taking one-on-one battles.
I think WRA just spent the entire majority of the beginning of this round just absolutely doing nothing but shift walking. And, well, it doesn't really work out for them. Ultimately, all of the frags will go the way of Sin5, and Kitschy, well, she's going to be left alive with a Tech 9, a shift walk, and a bomb to pick up with 50 seconds left to get it down and make something happen, which is not a good spot to be in.
No, and she's got 4 rifles, in fact, to take on Baby Tooth with the P90, only with 32 HP. And the Tech 9, I'm not so confident in this gun. I feel like the first shot that it delivers is great, but it's just not strong enough, especially not at the distances. So unfortunate for Kitschy over there. Sin5 secure round 12 for themselves. WRA trying to stay right behind them with 7 rounds, and we are into round 20. We see yet another timeout, and I think this is where the coach comes in and tries to delegate the players as to what they need to be doing and how they need to be doing things, because sometimes when you're in a game you can't necessarily see the things that other people see from a third person's perspective. So I think it's great having a coach in the coach box, being able to call the timeouts and have a little chat with you and so forth. So I think maybe he can boost their confidence a little bit, notify them of the mistakes that they're making, and hopefully they'll be able to turn this around.
Yeah, I mean, right now, what WRA need is they need to execute a solid attack onto a site. You know, the last couple of rounds we saw them trying to get something done, but ultimately, I don't think we've seen them really get onto a site and actually execute onto it fully. And successfully. So I think that's something that they do need to get going for them, and this could be the start of that. But Kitchi not finding the kill, the P90 going to be winning that one out, and that is an unfortunate beginning to the round. Definitely don't want to be going down too soon. It's going to make it much more difficult to try and get themselves in towards that site. Angel going to be firing back onto Leaf with a good headshot, going to make things a little bit easier. Then Mini also has the mind to check behind her, which is going to reward with that little bit of information that there is somebody on the flank. Holding it down is going to be getting a frag there. Now it's a 2v3, and Sin5, 20 and 9 HP respectively, and the AK will just tear through them. And that is WRA's round that they sorely needed.
Yeah, good job from WRA. It seems like the timeouts tonight have just been some miraculous powder that's been sprinkled over the girls, and they've managed to secure rounds directly after their terrorist timeouts, trying to break the momentum or whatever. So whatever you guys are doing, keep it up, because it seems to be working for both teams, in fact. Every time they've called a timeout, they've actually managed to win the next round after the timeout. So if you can, please send me some of that sprinkly stuff. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean... CSGO is very much a mental game as much as it is, and you know, getting those timeouts is very much good for your mental and does help a lot, and that definitely improves your game. Cyanide going to be opening up, Salty and Angel coming back with as well. That's going to leave Sin5 with 2 players. The Deagles will find 2, but ultimately Deagles versus AKs and a Galil is not going to be easy. Upgrade for Nexi. It's going to put the AK in her hands, make it that little bit easier to try and make something happen, as the bomb will go down towards B site.
Yes, lots of time for the girls to figure out what they're going to be doing on the side of Sin5 FE, and it looks like they might be opting for a save. They won't be opting for a save. Nexi has an AK-47 in her hands, and it looks like she's actually going to try and take this fight, which is, it's not a good idea. You know, you're not sitting with a great economy in your hands at the moment. You have an AK-47 utility and a Deagle, save it. You've got 3 players to take on. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, you have to win 3 gunfights here, and it's not going to happen. You know, you can't play for the Ninja defuse, you can't play for that kind of stuff. You know, there are 3 players left alive. If you're going to decide to go for the win there, if you're going to decide to push for it, you can't go for the Ninja. You have to take the fights. You have to go looking, you have to go hunting, and, well, that's not what happened. And ultimately, it's going to be 9-12.
Yeah, 9-12. Wow, what a change of events. Sin5 FE trying to fight for their lives to hang on to the lead, but it looks like WRA has done and sprinkled some stuff onto their, I don't know, onto their drinks, guns, whatever you want to call it. And it's working for them, so hopefully they can keep up with the momentum that they're currently going at. Babytooth spotting a player, not doing any damage though. Cyanide, I think she took some damage from a grenade in towards mid. And yeah, there's lots of utility coming out now, but the bomb is not going towards B.
Yeah, P90 going to be doing some work, trying to catch them out through the wall. Chev is going to be moving in with the M4 shot on through. And Mini. WRA with 2 players left to try and bring it back against 3, and the AK will only find 1. The trade comes through, and now it's Angel with 18 HP. And 2 bullets for 2 heads is what it has to be if Angel wants to win this out.
Yeah, let's see how she plays this. Chev is playing towards the side of A site. Angel might just spot her now, but I think that Molotov is going to be a risky push to push. Unfortunately, you're finding her from the right-hand side, and they take her down. 13 to Sin5 FE and 9 to WRA, but it is not over yet. Both of these teams are fighting for the win, and you can actually see it in the way that they're playing. It's almost as if, you know, the mentality of how they're playing has changed up a little bit. We've seen WRA playing a little bit more passive, not trying to do anything risky, and It paid off the first couple of rounds, and unfortunately, I think they lost that mentality. We start trying to be aggressive and so forth, and it didn't work out for them. That split towards A and B, not a good call, but let's see if they can recollect onto this round. They've got 3 Deagles, 2 PT-50s, and some utility in their hands, but they've got a tough fight against rifles and an MP9.
Well, it could be a good call if they decide to start catching players out, but Tink's catching out Mini to start things off as Salty pushes up the ramp and gets head tapped away by Chev. Tooth going to be pulling the trigger onto Kitschy as well. That's going to leave Angel and Cyanide last live, but the trap card has been strung, and that will be the bomb plant towards the B site, and that's going to give them a little bit of extra cash going into it, which is going to help them considering this is a full save round. The Deagle actually finds Tinks as well. That is going to be 2v4.
Unfortunately, super off guard for Tinks coming up the stairs over there. Angel managing to find 2 heads onto the Sin 5 F Eagles, but Baby Tooth and me finish off the last plays and get the defuse, and they secure the 14th round. WRA has to do something, and they have to do it now.
Yeah, well, it is 14th round, like you said. Match point is only a round away, which means that something has to happen, and it has to happen quick. Luckily, WRA on that full buy is going to give them the best chance to do so. So that's what they're going to be hoping for going into round 24.
Yeah, full buys. I'm super excited. Cyanide has her AWP in her hands again, so we'll be keeping tabs on her just to make sure she doesn't ace again. And Chev and Nexi opting for the FAMAS's. Not particularly a gun I'm very fond of. Maybe it's just because I don't play with it too often. And if that double peek from Nexi and Leaf taking down.
It's being done. It's being done.
It's being done, yeah.
FAMAS and Galil are a little bit underrated weapons in my opinion. But you definitely have to play with them to get a bit more comfortable with them. You can see they do the damage, but it's 3v4 right now.
Yeah, Cyanide and Salty taking damage. Unfortunately, Salty taking way too much damage, so she loses her life to Tinks. But Cyanide manages to get the refrag onto her. She's got 21 HP and the smoke in her hands, and she's tagged along with Mini, who is sitting on 35 HP. Not too healthy on the side of WRA. But maybe they can make this work, and they can take on the 3 goals from Sin 5. Let's see what Cyanide and Mini opt for. Are they going to push towards A site or go towards B?
Yeah, this AWP has to find quite a bit of damage here to clutch this one out for WRA. Either the headshots need to be found by Mini, or the AWP needs to really do a lot of work if they want to get this one. Because if WRA lose this one, it's obviously going to be match point for Sin 5, and they don't want that to happen. But they are in quite a sticky situation with being so low in HP, and Nexi is going to be pushing up onto Mini. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. The AWP has to find everything. There's the first one. It's 1v2, but the CTs are going to win it based on time because that bomb didn't go down.
Yeah, while she was planting, one of the players had pushed on towards site and unfortunately taken the player that was planting that was Mini. And she unfortunately didn't get the plant down, so super. Yeah. Super unfortunate with WR. We do seem to be having some technical issues again, so we're going to call our server dev and see if he can maybe just check on the server. And once again, we do apologize for the technical issues that have been happening tonight, and we'll be right back.
All right. Okay, everyone, we are back, and we do have the information that the game did actually reach its conclusion. So we do have a final result between the two teams here. Unfortunately, we will not be able to view it because the server is closed, and unfortunately, that delay will not allow us to catch up. But we do have a score. Serenity, let us know what that was.
So it looks like Sinister FE did take the win. They placed 16 rounds and WRA only managed to secure 9 rounds. So super unfortunate that you guys couldn't see the end of that. You know, even for me, and I think for Patchy himself as well, the server had instantly shut down after the win. So the technical difficulties have been rolling in, but we deal with them as they come. Nonetheless, well done to Sinister 5 FE, and better luck next time to WRG Amaryllis. We had a great time casting on Vertigo. I won't say that it was the easiest ever, but you know what? At least the names were a little bit easier tonight, Patchy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's a little bit more easy. In any case, thank you very much for joining us here on this match, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Keep an eye on our Twitter post from RES Esports. They'll be posting our upcoming games, and we will check you on the next one. Goodbye and good night.